So this poem, Change of Plans. I'm standing on the threshold of who I want to be, looking back at who I am and wondering why I did not see this before. They say that hindsight's like 20/20, then my foresight must have been like 50/100, and my insight like a blind man fondling the darkness for a light switch in a room with no walls. I said I'm standing on the threshold of who I want to be, looking back at who I am and wondering why I did not see this before. They say that hindsight is like 20/20, then my foresight must have been like 50/100, and my insight like a blind man fondling the darkness for a light switch in a room with no walls. Because when I took this path, I thought that I was taking real progress. I thought that by taking the track more traveled, I was taking the path that was the best. But instead, I stepped on the train, lack of respect. Ended up in distress, depressed, and signaling SOS to strangers in all directions. See, I don't want to be just another doctor, another lawyer, or bite my nails in an office. I want to heal heart wounds with my words, prosecute politicians with my pen, and invest in audiences willing to listen to a Columbia graduate who wanted so bad to drop out but didn't because his mama taught him the true value of an education. So dear mama, I'm changing my major from biology pre-med to major in life with a double concentration in success and excellence. My courses include 3 classes on charity, 2 on goodwill towards man, and a required seminar on increasing my measure of faith. My thesis proves a man must know his past before he understands his present or comprehends his future, and I live out my Savior's motto that to whom much is given, much more is required. I don't see life like it is. I can't see life like it is. I close my eyes and envision how it could be, and then slave to make my dreams a reality. I hope you love me for trying to make the world a better place for this and the next generation. And I promise your hard-earned money is not going to waste. My words are all I have. So I hope you take them and you save them in that special place that the world's expectations can't get to. My words are all I have. So I hope you take them and you save them in that place that expectations can't get to. See, I met God. And now I have to live like I know who he is. All of us are standing on the edges of these thresholds, standing on the edge. You're standing on the edge of a new job. You're standing on the edge of a new relationship. You're standing on the edge of a new day. And it can be a new day if you take hold of the truth, the things that we know to be real. No matter your circumstances. That's why that poem, the line, is so important. What it says is that I can't see life like it is, but I close my eyes and envision how it could be, and then slave to make my dreams a reality. Yes, slave is a verb that I made up. We all know what that means. It means working. These things we don't see, like the end of poverty, the end of suffering, the curing of disease. We don't see that. All we see is that some people are sick and that some people are dying and that there's not enough. These children over here don't have this. These children over here don't have that. But when you close your eyes and you imagine the world that you want to live in, when you open them, you try to make that world a reality. Again, we are all people, pebbles tossed into a pool. Every ripple I create, internal ripple you. So in unison, we ripple in a type of ripple rhythm, but we need to ripple in a way that benefits our living. So why not throw your rock into the pond? I tried to throw my rock into a pond when I was 17 years old. So I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. And all that writing turned into a self-published book. And I remember signing that book. And I remember people saying, yes, that's great. I remember people saying, oh, yes, that's awesome. But I also remember those people that would not buy my book because of the color of my skin, my age, what I was saying. They felt convicted. One person in particular looked at me and he said, you didn't write that poem. And there will be those people that look at you and say, you're not capable of these things. Your dreams don't matter. You have this against you, this against you, this against you, this against you. So what would make you able to do that? And I looked at him, someone who was looking at me because of how old I was, that I wouldn't be able to write poems like, do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like? Chronicles the relationship between a father and a son that is not positive, anything but. But the conclusion that the son comes to is that he doesn't want to create that situation for his son, and that is the best that he can do. that it didn't profit him to be angry. It didn't make it any better for him to feel so strong about this situation when he had done everything to correct it. But what he could do was when he was blessed with a child, that he would never do those things again. And that's what I wrote. And this man told me that I didn't write them. So this is what I told him.